Today we're going to talk about the 50 most essential heavy metal bands to listen to before you croak. I've done black metal, I've done death, I've done doom, and now it's time for traditional, classic, heavy metal. Now there may be a couple of other genres mixed in here, like some glam metal, stuff like that, but it's all under the heavy metal category, because I didn't really want to do a glam metal specific list anyway, so there might be some of them mixed in throughout this list, but, you know, it's a big list. Let's start off with the classics, the one you knows are going to be here, starting with, of course, Sabbath, Paranoid, the metal album to, you know, end all metal albums. I did start off the doom metal one with Masters of Reality, which is a lot more, you know, in fitting with that kind of style, but Paranoid is more classic heavy metal. Iron Man, War Pigs, Paranoid. You can't talk about heavy metal without this essential album. Next up, Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden. Come on, absolute essential. The band that got me into heavy metal. Number of the Beast, Hallowed Be Thy Name, Children of the Damned. Too many classics to talk about. You all know it though, so let's move on. Of course, Judas Priest, British Steel, another classic. I prefer Defenders of the Faith. That's my favourite, and Stained Class. There's too many Priest albums to pick, but this is considered the best. British Steel, Breaking the Law. There's loads of good songs on this album. You can't really go wrong with Priest. Any of them. They're all damn good. Of course, Motorhead, Ace of Spades, another absolute banger of an album. I first introduced to them from the Young Ones show, which is a great show with Rick Mayall, and Vivian, the metal punk-loving guy, and then Motorhead played on it. I was like, this is insane music. I love it. This album, absolute classic. Dio, the mighty Dio with Holy Diver, operatic vocals, fantasy elements, everything you need. This album has it in spades. Love him. Love him with Sabbath as well. Mob Rules, come on. Fantastico. Speaking of Dio, Rainbow Rising. Holy moly, Stargazer on this album is probably one of the best guitar solos of all time. I love this song to pieces. It's probably the quintessential metal song of all time. If you don't know this one, stop this video. Go listen to Stargazer again, because it's just phenomenal. Ozzy Osbourne, Blizzard of Oz. Couple of ones I could have picked and go with the debut here. It's got the classics like Crazy Train, Mr. Crowley, stuff like that. There is other ones I might like better, but this is the essential, and it has the essential songs on, so there you go. Now for something completely different, Mercyful Fate, Don't Break the Oath. Probably one of my favourites on this entire list. Kinda, some people say it's black metal, did influence them, but it's, come on, it's traditional heavy metal. King Diamond's vocals are just so operatic, so fantastic. You either love them or you hate them. I'm in the love camp, so there you go. King Diamond as well with Abigail. Just a phenomenal concept album throughout. Again, with his vocals just shining through. The story is creepy, haunting, and it's an absolute essential. Time for the Germans, except Restless and Wild. I almost put balls to the walls here because there's a couple of Accept albums you could throw on an essentials list, but I'm going to go Restless and Wild because it just, I don't know. For some reason it has more balls than balls to the wall, if that makes sense. I don't know, it is Restless and Wild, furious, all the way through, guitar's amazing, can't have a list like this without the mighty Accept. Saxon, come on, love Saxon, so many good albums. Wheels of Steel is one I'm going to pick. It is considered one of the most classic ones. The classic song Wheels of Steel, so goddamn good. Denim and Leather I almost put here because I like that a little bit more, but more people seem to know Wheels of Steel. Power and the Glory. There's so many good Saxon albums. Lionheart. But yeah, Wheels of Steel is the essential you have to listen to. Diamond Head, Lightning to the Nations. Another classic, and you've all heard Am I Evil? You know, with all the other bands like Metallica and Megadeth and all stuff coming together to sing it together, which is a cool moment. I've seen Diamond Head live as well. I've seen most of these bands I've talked about live. Diamond Head was fantastic, seeing them. So underrated as well. Really underrated band, and this album is one of the best in heavy metal, so go check out this album. Def Leppard now with High and Dry. You think Def Leppard, you think a bit more mainstream, you think later in the career, but no, High and Dry, absolute banger of a metal album. riffs are great, catchy as all hell, and this is before, you know, Pour Some Sugar on Me and all that stupid stuff that came later. This is in the more, you know, proper just good-ass heavy metal category. If you don't know High and Dry, go check it out. Banging album. Savatage, The Hall of the Mountain King. Speaking of high vocals, this will give Rob Halford a run for his money. Holy moly. Love the theming, love the classic artwork with just on the throne, you know, dominating, and the song Hall of the Mountain King is just phenomenal. Just go check that out as well. Stop this video. Check out Hall of the Mountain King. Savatage needs more love. Manowar, Hail to England, the album that broke them big, basically. So many good songs on this album as well. Again, I could have put battle hymns, I could have put anything. You know, I could have put anything by them. Kings of Metal even is probably the most classic, newer style album by them, but Hail to England is the essential, and it made them successful, so yeah, it's on this list. Heavy Load, Death or Glory. This is a fantastic heavy metal album, which I only knew about from Ruthless Metal, who's got a great heavy metal channel. He does all stuff heavy metal, and he actually introduced me to this band, because I knew a lot of this albums and bands on this list, but never them, and then he introduced me to them, and I'm like, this is one of the best. Have I never heard this before? Sometimes bands just go right over your head. This was on for me, and hopefully it doesn't happen to you, so go check out Heavy Load. Running Wild, Gates to Purgatory. This is in kind of like the teetering on black metal side without the vocals. You know, it's fast, aggressive, furious, a lot different to the later albums by the band. It was a bit more jolly, pirate kind of power metal. The other stuff's just traditional heavy metal. Gates to Purgatory is an absolute banger. Tigers of Pantang with Spellbound. I love the album covers for this band. They're always great, and this one's very minimalistic. You know, it's just a tiger on a mountain. That's it. Drawn strange, like those Japanese paintings. I love this album. Melody, so damn good. The vocals are fantastic. And this is another underrated band. Loads of good albums to pick as well, but we're going to go with a classic Spellbound. It is just melodic and amazing throughout. Angel Witch with Angel Witch. Guess what I'm going to say? You're an angel witch. You're an angel witch. Oh, the song is absolutely amazing. So is the rest of the album. I also love the album cover. It reminds me of Blessed Are the Sick by Morbid Angel. Bit of a weird comparison, but it does. The Hellscape. Fantastic album throughout. Just the vocals very high as well. Just, yeah. If you love classic heavy metal, Angel Witch should be on your radar, because this is just one of the best albums in metal, period. Riot with Fire Down Under. I love the mascot. So damn cute. Some people hate it. I don't. Swords and Tequila. Come on. This album is just packed with hits. I almost put Narita on. Road Racing, or Thundersteel. They have a lot of good albums, a lot of classic albums, but I feel like Fire Down Under is just more consistent and well-rounded throughout, even though I may like a couple of songs better on other albums. This is the more consistent album, and yeah, absolute bloody classic. Tank with Filth, Hounds from Hell. This is another classic album. I'm not a big fan of the vocals on this album. Probably get crucified. I'm putting it on Essentials list, and I'm not the biggest fan of the vocals, but the melodies, the guitar, the riffs, just the rhythm of everything is so damn good. So even though, yeah, vocally I like the higher stuff maybe a bit more, I still really appreciate this album, and it still is a must listen. I'm not going to be biased. I'm going to throw it on anyway, so you guys can love it too. Motley Crue, Too Fast for Love. Again, you could be like, oh, that's glam metal, but they interchange. I've got Def Leppard on here as well. Come on. Everyone knows Motley Crue. You know, I could have put Shout at the Devil. There's so many good albums by Motley Crue, contrary to popular belief. So many good ones early, but I'm going to go with this one because I just feel like it's the most consistent throughout. And it's fun, it's energetic, it's fast, it's goofy, and it's just a great time. Quiet Riot with Mental Health. Bang Your Head. What an absolute metal anthem. And this is, I think I'm pretty sure this went to #1 on the charts, this album. I think it was the very first heavy metal album to do that. Absolutely seminal album. Fantastic throughout. Great fun, catchy choruses and vocals. Just, I can't have an album like this without Quiet Riot. It would be impossible, and the music video's great too. Manilla Road with Crystal Logic. Oh, that's progressive metal. No. Shut your hole. This is so good. Like, the first couple of albums I really enjoyed as well. I almost put the debut here, but this one just elevated them to stardom. And some people still don't know who they are, so this is, this is your warning to go check them out. The vocals are so unique, unlike anything else in this entire list. And it kind of draws you in. At first I was unsure, but then it drew me in, and I was like, I love these vocals. So damn good. Yeah, kind of progressive, I guess you could say. The guitar work, amazing solos and all that. But yeah, it's just an epic album from an epic band. And again, too many good albums from this band, but we're staying on this band too much, so let's move on. Satan, Caught in the Act. Caught with a C-O-U-R-T. Love the artwork for Satan. There's so many good artworks. This is the best album. Banger after banger on this album. They just never miss. Again, cool vocals, aggressive guitar playing, and just a really fun album overall. A great logo as well. The Satan logo, tippity top of the hat to you guys. Love it. Yngwie Malmsteen with Rising Force. Talking about guitar. This is the guitar virtuoso. Just amazing shredding throughout. Just beautiful guitar work on this album. Catchy songs as well. And this is probably, it's probably his most famous album. So it's getting some love here. Wasp with Wasp. The debut by this band. I could have picked Crimson Idol. I could have picked Headless Children or some other albums like that, which are fantastic, but the Wasp debut is just pure heavy metal thunder throughout. None of this progressive stuff, none of this crazy nonsense, but just powerful heavy metal throughout the whole thing, and it might be my favourite, so I might do a ranking soon of them. We will see. Grim Reaper is next. See You in Hell. Grim Reaper, underrated, severely underrated. The vocals are just so damn gritty, and I love them for that. Like, the album covers are fantastic. There's only a couple of albums by this band, but each one hits really hard. I'd put them in the same kind of category as like Heavy Load and stuff, just really underrated. Some of the best in the game. I'd rather listen to this than a lot of the ones I mentioned, to be honest. So Grim Reaper, high praise from Questy. Go check them out. Next up is Samson with Shock Tactics. Gotta fly. This is Bruce Dickinson's band before he joined Iron Maiden, and it's just really damn good. There's a lot of albums before this one. This is Bruce's last foray into Samson before he joined on Number the Beast. But it's a fantastic album. Vocally, obviously it's Bruce. It's gonna be good. But the music around his vocals, just equally as good. So go check out Samson. Raven, All for One, which I love. The album cover, the swords coming through. There's a couple of Raven albums, again, I could have picked here. But this is generally seen as the best one. Again, love the vocals, love the guitar. Everything around this band is just so fun. Underrated as well. Not many people talk about Raven. There's a lot of bands with Raven in the name, isn't there? But yeah, not many people talk about them, so I'm giving them some love here. Cloven Hoof with Cloven Hoof. I just love saying the name Cloven Hoof. This is a strange band, but I do love them. It's classic heavy metal. The vocals are a bit different. Not quite super high, like Savatage and Manilla Road, kind of crazy stuff of Judas Priest, but still love them. This album is an absolute classic and deserves to be on every single essential list because it's so good. Cloven Hoof, I just like saying it. Next is Praying Mantis, Time Tells No Lies. Speaking of great album covers, Praying Mantis have some fantastic ones, and I was listening to this again right before this list and just blows me away. Just the song structures, fantastic guitar, the lead work, amazing, and the vocals don't get annoying. They're really just pretty perfect, I think. Another underrated band. You got Tigers of Pantang, Praying Mantises. What other animals are we going to get? Well, I said that, and the next band I just wrote down was Scorpions. So there's your next animal. Praying Mantises into Scorpions. Of course you got to have Scorpions on a list like this. Sure, you could say, oh, it's like rock, hard rock. Nah, this album, Blackout, heavy metal, through and through. Heavy metal? I don't really need to talk about Scorpions too much. I probably could have put them higher on the list, to be honest. This is an absolute essential. But yeah, hey ho, it's coming here. It's not ordered at all. It's not ordered. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. Armoured Saint, March of the Saint. This is such an epic album. I mean, you can tell by looking at the knights on the cover that it's just going to be chanting along with the choruses. Really, really catchy. The song March of the Saint as well. One of the best heavy metal songs ever written. So yeah, love this album. Metal Church with the debut, Metal Church. This is a lot heavier than a lot of the other albums on this list. A lot more riffy and in your face, and you just want to run around in circles. This is kind of like Accept, you just want to run around in circles, like aggressive and to the point, and just an absolute classic. This is a band I've been meaning to check out a lot, and I finally did. This is one of the more recent ones I checked out, actually, and I fell in love. So yeah, there you go. You saying that I should check out Metal Church, I did, and it made it onto this list because you were saying it's essential. It is bloody essential. It is. And I don't know why I wasn't listening to it for years and years prior. Crimson Glory is next with Crimson Glory. Again, you could say, oh, it's progressive metal, but nah. Queen of the Masquerade. Ooh, what an absolute banger of a song. Dun, da da dun, of the Masquerade. Just the high vocals, just perfect. Again, similar-ish to like Savatage kind of vocals. But yeah, fairly progressive in nature. Cool changes, cool rhythms, just an absolute majestic band. Again, doesn't get much love, but Crimson Glory. I love the masks as well. The masks are so cool. But yeah, check out this album. Jagdpanzer with Ample Destruction. Spoken about this band before. Really love this album. Aggressive, furious. You can see from the album cover they're all going into war. Kind of like Blood, Fire, Death album cover. You know it's going to be glorious. You know it's going to be bloody and ferocious. And boy, is it. Next up is Omen with Battle Cry. Love the kind of almost like Warhammer-esque art with this one. But yeah, Battle Cry, absolute just fantastical music. Strange. Some people can't get over the vocals in this one, but I, for one, love it. I love the savagery as well on it, even though the vocals are kind of strange. Love the art, love the vocals, love the music. A lot of these were on Brutal Legend soundtrack. I've just realised then. Like this one was on Brutal Legend soundtrack. But yeah, fantastic album. Love it. Next up is Broker's Helm, Defenders of the Crown. Speaking of vocals, this one's the most weird on the entire list. Very, very low and almost spoken word kind of vocals. Strange, but it works with the mystical mood of the album itself. Creepy as hell, unique, definitely deserving of the list. Loudness, thunder in the east. Some Japanese metal for you. Classic heavy metal from Japan. They somehow managed to make it more intricate with the guitar, just faster, more brash, more brazen, and more balls. And you love it for that. Great album. Got to be on this list. 3 Inches of Blood, Advance and Vanquish. Deadly Sinner! Deadly Sinner! There's a lot of high vocals in this, which I personally love. So, fantastic vocal delivery on this. Fast, furious again. Fast as a shark, you could say. Oh, except little nod. Yeah, just a bloody good time. Budgie, Never Turn Your Back on a Friend. This is probably the outlier. This is definitely 70s rock. But I'm going to throw it in anyway because it has those hallmarks of heavy metal. Sure, then I could throw in Deep Purple and some other shit, but no. Just sticking with Budgie. Underrated, beautiful art, beautiful singing, and it has an edge. It has like this metal spirit about it, which means I'm going to put it on this list. Seraph Ungle, Frost and Fire. More crazy vocal deliveries. I had Seraph Ungle on my doom metal as well, with King of the Dead, but we're going back a bit to Frost and Fire, which is more just traditional heavy metal. Furious, fast, well, I wouldn't say furious and fast. It's got, it's got an edge to it. The vocals are great. It's more epic, I should say. Grandiose and epic. And Seraph Ungle, very underrated. Sortilege is next with Metamorphose. French heavy metal now. The song Metamorphose as well, when they're singing it, so damn good. Go check out that song. It'll hook you right in. Weird album cover. I feel like I'm going to get eaten by some creature on the album cover, but it fits with the mood, and I love it. Virgin Steel is next with Age of Consent. Love this album. Just dipping into power metal, but Virgin Steel kind of started as like heavy metal, just fist pumping in the air, one of the best vocalists in the entirety of metal, just catches all hell, some of the best songwriting ever. Virgin Steel, love them. Fifth Angel with Fifth Angel. Now we're getting into something cool. This is kind of like the birth of power metal with this album. You could say Manowar and stuff, but this one is like true, almost quite power metal, but still retaining that heavy metal spirit. Fantastic songs throughout. This, now they talk about underrated, this one's underrated. If you love power metal, you love classic heavy metal, check out Fifth Angel. Twisted Sister with Stay Hungry. We're not gonna take it. Yeah. You know the classics on here. I could have picked the earlier Twisted Sister albums, but this one has the classics on. Again, should have been way higher in the list. Twisted Sister, for fuck's sake. But yeah, absolute essential. So it's here. Tokyo Blade, Night of the Blade. This one is just fun as hell. You know from the album cover it's going to be unique. Very unique album. Really just completely different to everything on this list, but it still has that heavy metal spirit, and it still is just... it pounds you in the face and doesn't let up. Great album. I love it. One of my best on the list. Next up, Liege Lord, Master Control. Speaking of heavy metal, this is putting the heavy in heavy metal. Furious, just intense, amazing guitar work and riffs. This is a very riffy album. Love Liege Lord, and this album is 100% worthy of your time. Next up is Ostergoth with Ecstasy and Danger. Another fantastic album to round off the list. The intro to Queen of Desire is just so damn good. Like, that guitar intro to Queen of Desire, amazing. That song is phenomenal. Love the whole album. And that rounds off a list of 50 essential heavy metal albums to listen to before you die. Yeah, I've missed loads off, but that's what the comment box is. That's what it's for, down there. Tell me all the ones I've missed off. You know, Chastain isn't on here. Girl School isn't on here. Dora. Wow, I've just missed off all the women. Oops. But yeah, there's so many good heavy metal albums I've missed off. I could even throw Machine Head by Deep Purple on here as well, or In Rock. Great stuff. So let me know what you've listened to on this list. Who's your favourite album and band on this list that I've mentioned? Let me know the albums I've missed off, and I'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.